Welcome back to the Fighters Replay. My name is Kay, this is Rob, and today we have another MILF episode for you guys because you know how much we love our MILFs. If you are new around here, MILF stands for Man I Love Fighting. We love our little acronyms. If you can tell, if you do follow us on our socials at the Fighters Replay, which you should be doing.
Like right now. Like honestly, before we get into the video, like, share, comment, subscribe right now. It literally takes you less than a second. Just like the damn video. That don't cost you nothing. If you can't, just click 2 seconds. Just do it, please.
We would greatly appreciate it so much, so deeply. But diving right into it, we're gonna do a recap. We just watched UFC Paris, UFC Fight Night, 𝕃ove versus 𝕃ove. Wow, what a performance. 𝕃ove really
showcased some really excellent striking. He really showed that he was able to just use that jab and use his footwork and be really aggressive early on now and like build a comfortable lead. It was really impressive showing from 𝕃ove.
It was such a great card too. It was besides the main event, there was only one other fight on the main card that went to a decision. All the prelims ended in a finish and all the other fights ended in a finish too. It was jam-packed. I felt like most of the fight night was watching the pre-fight ads and the pre-fight they're talking about the fight or whatever leading up to it. But you know, overall, just everybody came to show up and show out.
Oh yeah, and you know, speaking of which, we had a special somebody make their UFC debut on the prelims. Harry Hardwick, Jordan Hardwick's brother, the Cage Warrior fighters. The fight didn't turn out how we wanted it, how he would want it to go, but nothing less, he displayed a lot of toughness, and the fact that he was willing to step up a weight class, and, you know, on 4 days' notice, you know, a lot of people aren't doing that. I think that's very deserving, or at least give him a chance to see what he's going to look like in his own weight class.
Yeah, absolutely. And George is fighting this upcoming weekend on Cage Warriors in the main event. So, you know who really turned out for their UFC debut, though? The Aries champion, Axel Sola. Man, he really did his thing. Hard fight, hard-earned victory. But if we're going to talk about hard-earned victories that happened, let's talk about what happened over in one championship. Ty Ruotolo versus Adrian Lee. That was a crazy fight, man. One championship is just known for getting these crazy matchups done early. A lot of young talent. I mean, a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old that just showed so much potential and just so much like heart and passion and skill and reflex, and you know, it was just absolutely beautiful. Great fight,
great competition. Can't wait to see what both of those guys can bring back to the table coming into their next fights, because those guys got a lot to build off of with that the performance that they put on. Man, one hell of a fight. Yeah, seriously. And again, that whole card, the only fight that went to a decision was the main event. And the main event was a banger, dude. It was Jackie Buntan versus Stella Hemmetsberger. Man, Stella is just so talented. Jackie is so talented. It was one hell of a fight. Yeah, they banged out for sure. It would be interesting. It's kind of sad because, you know, this was Smiela Sundel's belt before this. This was for a vacant title before she got released. And I think it would be so entertaining to see Smiela face off against Stella, because that style is just so dominant. That Muay Thai style is so crazy. But Jackie did really well with her kickboxing basics. Busted up her nose, made it a war, but overall just great fight, man. We gotta give out some little shout out to Johan Ghazali getting that win over El-Jamari. Very impressive and really entertaining. Can't wait to see what he's got next.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, full of those young prospects. But if we're talking about upcoming rising prospects, I guess we can move on into what's coming up next weekend. UFC Noche. Always excited for this time of year. This fight card specifically every year hits so hard. And in the main event, we have an absolute banger. Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva. I mean, what hotter prospects are there right now in the featherweight division than those two?
Nobody, man.
Both are just hard hitters, really known for their speed and technicality, their volume. It's going to be a crazy fucking fight. And even though the Fighting Nerds kind of had a rough week this week, you know, we're going to have to see if Jean can pull it or can, you know,
I'm going to have to see if John can
his way,
pull it around his way. Because especially, you know, you got to keep that momentum going for the ones that are doing great in the gym, you know, like Carlos Prates and now John Silva. Hopefully they can,
you know. Silva.
Who's that?
Hopefully they can continue to build off of their own success, and hopefully they can also see that a loss doesn't define this gym. They can prove that. Hopefully they can prove that they can learn from these.
Yeah, absolutely. And something cool also to mention is, as we know, one of Cal's former opponents, Michael Oleksiejczyk, he has turned around and has, after losing to Cal, went and started training at the Fighting Nerds, and now his brother just won his fight in the Dana White Contender Series this week earlier on, and so now we have two Polish brothers in the UFC at the same time, which is a first. So that was pretty cool to see too. But enough about the main event and stuff. The undercard for this UFC Noche is really where the gold is. I think one of the fights that I'm most excited for is Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos. I think that's going to be such a clash. These strawweights are really just some bangers, and Suarez coming off of the loss of her chance at a title shot or her chance at the title, and Lemos is just, everybody knows Lemos, bro. She's coming to bang. She's coming to show out. Also, there's another women's fight that I'm really excited for. We have Elise Pereira making her UFC debut. She's a 19-year-old prospect. I think it's one of the youngest signings in the UFC for the women's divisions. So that's super exciting to see some young fresh meat come in. I believe she's facing Rendon, who is 1-1 in the UFC. But only has like one professional loss in her career, and it happened to come in the UFC. So, you know, that it's still a really dangerous fight. So that one's definitely going to show out. But I think one of the most dangerous fights is the quick turnaround with Alexander Hernandez coming off of the win, the TKO win to Chase Hooper, and he's facing Diego Ferreira,
who's no slouch of his own, and he's got a lot of power in his punch too. You know, he's a veteran isn't somebody that you'd never want to count out.
Yeah, absolutely. And both these guys know how to stand and trade, and I think it's going to be an absolute banger of a fight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Also, shout out to the Florida boy, Cedric Dumas versus Zachary Reese. That's going to be a great fight. Excited for that one too.
Duval.
Let's see, what else is happening next week? In the boxing world, we have, of course,
Canelo,
the pound for pound
Alvarez
versus pound for pound.
Versus Terrance Crawford.
Yeah.
Terrance Crawford is going to be moving up to 168 pounds to be facing Canelo Alvarez. A lot of people are picking Crawford to win. How early? What are you feeling on this fight earlier on?
I mean, I think Canelo is one of the best to ever do it, and I think at 168 he's definitely going to have the advantage in size, in age. I don't know if he's going to have the advantage in speed. Bud just really knows how to get in and out in those ranges
really
with the combos.
Adaptable.
Yeah.
His ability to make adjustments on the fly, to like be able to get off his own shots is like second to none, truly.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a really crazy fight. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. That's going to be streamed on Netflix too, I guess.
Yep. And
Netflix is becoming like a bigger streaming site for these people. And the UFC is kind of working with boxing now. Dana White is kind of working with boxing now. So, who knows if the UFC will one day end up on Netflix.
And it isn't even just that fight on that card. There's a lot of other great fights on that card. Like Lester Martinez, Christian Mabili. There's a lot I can name. It's also a free undercard that they're going to be streaming on DAZN. at the Canelo and Crawford public workouts on Wednesday. It's going to be at 2 o'clock. So, you know, if you got nothing to do on your Wednesday, you know, tune in. Watch a couple of boxing matches. Get your weekend started off right. But, you know, the way you're going to end your weekend is off with 𝕄owe, who's going to be fighting this Sunday at 4 a.m. in the morning, like always. But at least he's fighting on a Sunday instead of a Tuesday or Monday.
Facts.
You know, that's still a good thing. He's going to be fighting a very dangerous opponent. But, you know, tune in. If you haven't watched 𝕄owe fight, I think
it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth waking it up.
It is the best way to end off your combat sports weekend. It is like the cherry on top, I promise you. It's 𝕄owe, great fighter. It's like one of the best, like arguably one of the pound for pound fighters on pound for pound boxers on the planet.
Absolutely. Overall, just a weekend full of great fighters. Some of the most entertaining bouts that we've waited all year to find out who is the best of the best. Y'all already know there's a million other events that are happening this weekend. It's a huge fight weekend, so there's a lot of free fights that are going to be, well, I say free. You got to pay for the subscriptions for DAZN and UFC Fight Pass. There are going to be some that are free on YouTube. Like we say, One Championship always has a free fight night every Friday morning,
8:30.
If you aren't willing to watch it in the morning, it's always free to go back and replay immediately. So even if you can only watch it Friday night or something like that, or just want some good fights, One Championship is just known for just some crazy violence, crazy skill. If you guys are bitching about grappling fests and stuff like that, if you're gonna bitch about the UFC and, you know, this and that and having too much grappling because you don't understand it, you know, go over to One Championship because they will really throw hands and you will not be bored. And if they do have grappling, it's going to be some of the best grappling that you'll see for sure. But
for all our Grapple Fun Fest fans that we do have, especially within our wrestling community, we do have a new event of RAF 2 that's going to be on November 8th at Penn State Rec Hall.
Yes.
Very exciting. We had a lot of good names and a lot of great wrestling matches at RAF 1. Cal Dake had an amazing performance. Nick Wolf had an amazing performance. Hendrickson, Teller is amazing. We can't wait for what exciting matchups that they're probably going to announce for the second one, but we know they're probably going to come bigger and better the second time, and I really can't wait. Especially hope that they can get Jordan Burroughs on there. I think that would really be a great cherry on top. Yep, and like we said, I'm really happy that they're staying kind of consistent with it, you know, having a quick turnaround. You know, I love that this is just going to, you know, make wrestling just flourish across the world. This is just a really good platform to just build these martial artists, you know, and what they do in their craft, because it is so entertaining to watch, you know, just the most elite wrestlers on the planet go head to head in these matchups. But yeah, so much going on this weekend, guys. So much happened last weekend if you guys missed it. Yeah, as always, combat sports just delivers again and again and again and again. And you know who will continue to deliver is us at The Fighters Replay. Go ahead and follow us on all of our socials. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Okay, bro.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.
You can't break me, I got iron bones. My ground game will leave your mind blown. I'm ready to fight in any time zone. I'm the greatest, you can call me John Jones. Knocking clowns out like I'm Steve Pay. We can even fight on the freeway. I'ma leave him bloody right where he lay. This is The Fighters Replay.